Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the EEARSS Podcast, produced by Terrier TV here at Titusville High School. I am Frank. That is Bill. That is Cindy. How's it going, guys? That was man, you guys are very unconvincing today. I don't know what is going on right now.
I just realized that every time he says that, I jump in and say something. And I thought, well, I would be polite this time and let you say something. And I guess I've
you disrupted the balance.
I did. I just and I didn't tell you ahead of time. That's I should have warned you. Let's, shake it up. Let's do a little something different.
And yet again, you guys match somehow.
And
how did you do it? It's like almost the exact same green. How'd you pull that off, y'all?
Well,
we call
there's
each other
an elaborate email chain, pictures.
That leaves Frank out of it. I appreciate that.
We use an app, actually.
Yeah, there's an app.
There's voting amongst the listeners. It's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. It's
Really?
a whole thing. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Someday we'll bring you in the circle.
Well, they just wonder if I'm going to wear shoes or not, and the answer is almost always no.
No. Yes,
Yeah.
It's no shoes. No shoes.
Oh, my garage. Anything crazy going on this week?
No. It's the end of the school year. It's getting.
There is a get-together tomorrow evening for the coaches and such, I understand.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard about this?
No.
It's at Shiloh's tomorrow evening.
Okay.
Now you have the inside information.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
You should come crash it.
No.
No.
That's
Definitely not.
You can. I was invited for some reason. I'm not a coach.
Well, yeah, but you are the PA announcer. You are.
So whenever you were, did
part
they
of the
invite you to
spirit.
such things?
Well, they didn't have those kinds of things.
So I should feel like overly blessed. Is that what
You
you're telling me?
should.
Well, I mean, I always do.
You
but
should go.
should
be
I crash
part of
it? Should I crash it?
You're
were
not
invited.
crashing it.
That's
You
not
were
crashing
invited.
it.
Yes.
But do they actually expect me to show up?
Of course they do. They
They
want you.
invited you.
They want you there.
But so if you're invited and don't RSVP, what are those letters again? What do they even mean?
RSVP.
What do those letters mean?
It's something French, I think.
I
Do you know what those letters mean, Pam?
can't remember.
Oh, I'm supposed to remember this. Let's see.
Honest to goodness, I've always.
RSVP, personal.
Uh-oh.
Now you caught me, Frank. Somebody get the phone out.
Hey,
Lindsay,
Lindsay, what do
looking it
those
up.
four
Google it.
letters mean?
Google it again.
She's looking it up right now.
She's looking it up for us, yes.
Because I'm very, it's funny. I don't think I've ever known what they meant. I mean, I know what they mean. I just don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Respectfully respond. RSV. Respectfully respond.
Oh, this is getting good.
Something
This is going to be trivia
person.
next year.
Yeah. I
Women's
think that's
Center
a good
event trivia right now.
I really think it's a big, great trivial question because now I don't really remember.
Okay.
I like it.
It's
Because then
a
people
category-
get rewarded for having listened.
It's a category of acronyms that are well known, but nobody knows what they actually mean. RSVP should lead the flippin' list.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
How we doing, Lindsay?
Yeah, Lindsay, you got this?
My internet wasn't working, so I had to ask Siri. She's loading. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
How do you? Oh, you're a fancy iPhone person. Is that what you're telling me?
I am indeed, yes.
Okay, I don't know anything about iPhone stuff.
Nope.
Something about respectfully respond.
This is gonna hold me
don't
up.
know.
This is
Yeah.
Lindsay, we're counting on you right now. Okay. So on other notes, Lindsay, just jump in wherever you have it. Yeah, I'm excited to go. But if you don't RSVP to an event and then you show up, are you not crashing it?
I mean, it depends what kind of event. Don't go to a wedding you didn't RSVP to.
Oh, that would be almost insulting. Yes, because they have
that's
food
truly
and stuff
crashing.
counted for.
That's truly crashing.
Yeah,
if
that
you
wouldn't
do
be
it
good.
to a
I would
wedding,
never
yeah.
do that.
But joining at a restaurant, I think you can do that.
Yeah, it's okay.
You might
Fair
be
enough.
sitting in a seat that you didn't
Yeah.
want, but yeah.
There are so many phones out trying to figure this out right now. It is blowing my mind.
Okay.
Oh, you got it, Bill?
Well, I don't have my reading glasses. So
Cindy.
I left them somewhere.
Oh, I can't.
It's
pronounce
French,
this.
right?
Yes.
Okay, it's something French. And
But the acronym is in English for us to know.
Répondez s'il vous plaît.
Whatever the French word is, I'm not even going to try and
The-
pronounce
thank
it.
you.
'cause I'm just
Is it that bad for real?
I'm going to offend someone, yeah. But the English meaning of the French word is please respond.
Respondes
I feel like we could just
silly
say,
various
respond.
plat.
I know that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I know that please is like s'il vous plaît or something to that
S'il vous
effect.
plaît.
Okay. This podcast went off
So-
strange right from the beginning. I like it.
Merci de Bone Cups.
Oh, my garage. All right. So you guys ready to jump into today's podcasting and
I
guest?
see they'll be letting you teach French next year
Oh,
also.
yeah. It's on my repertoire.
I guess we're all going
Lord.
to Google now.
Oh, goodness gracious. You guys ready to jump into it?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
So today in the podcast, we are blessed to be joined by Miss Pam Shaia from Tales at the Barkery.
That's it, where it's all about the tails, Frank.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I've heard it pronounced many different ways over the years. I've heard Tails of the Barkery, Tails at the Bakery. It seems to always start with Tails, but some different things go there sometimes. But it's pretty straightforward. It's Tails at the Barkery.
That is correct. Yes, we do get lots of different things that happen. We have people that walk in thinking that it's a bakery and for their coffee and donuts in the morning.
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of could be. I mean, it'd be
because remember, it's spelled tails like a dog's tail, so that kind of should be your first clue. Okay, but as we know, majority of people really don't read, and they just see Barkery, and they leave off that R and think it says bakery, and the next thing you know, they're inside. And I had to move the frosted cookies, those beautiful decorated cookies. So when you first walk in Tails, the decorated cookies used to be right in front, so they were pretty, and you would see them, right?
Right.
It wasn't the dogs taking the cookies. It was the humans, and they would come in, put the cookie in their mouth, and bite into it. And it's kind of hard. It's designed for the dog.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Yeah.
And I would have people go, that's really kind of stale.
Yeah, it's a little stale.
And I would go, and that was for the dog.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So,
There we go.
That is
Okay.
great. It's
so then I moved them to the other end so that you kind of walk past the cookie aisle and kind of see the open bowl cookies before you get to the beautiful decorated cookies on the other side.
There you go. See, you made them too pretty. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. But we do work hard on that part. So,
There you
yeah.
go.
So Pam, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little about your career journey, where you were born, where you were raised, and your journey up to owning your own business.
Oh, wow, that's pretty deep, Frank. You want to stay here all night?
Yeah.
No. Okay, I'll give you the Reader Digest version,
Okay,
or
I
even
like it.
shorter, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm originally from Alabama, in case you didn't know. Yes, it's an Alabama accent. I'm going to keep it all my life. It's going to my grave with me. I love Auburn University, not that other school, okay? And orange and blue are my favorite colors. The University of Florida hadn't got those two colors right yet, so when I moved here, it was a little more challenging. But I have the true blue and the true orange. I have 3 sisters. One of my sisters is deceased, so I have an older sister and a younger sister. I'm married. My husband, Stan Pengelly.
Indeed, a previous guest, yes.
Yes, he has. We have 3 beautiful shelties. All my shelties are rescues from Mid Florida Sheltie Rescue. Everybody knows there's a dog story with me. So we have Levi. He's my blue merle. Frank has a blue merle. We have determined that Levi must have been one of his blue merle's fathers. And then I have beautiful Karina. She's my really reactive sheltie, but she's also extremely smart, loves her mother. Not so crazy about other dogs, but we're working through that. Only 14 dog titles, okay, but don't put her near another dog. And then we have my darling Noel, who's my deaf dog, okay? And she was born deaf, so go ahead. And then I'm going to say that's for me because she doesn't miss a beat, okay? She rules the house. She's my heart dog, okay? We rescued her as a puppy. Yeah, there was a lot of Calgon moments, trust me, all right? I felt like the newborn the mother with a new kid for the first time, and it's like, what have I done? What have I done? I got her right after I retired from 40 years of working with the Department of Defense on very specialized programs. So that was my career for 40 years. So as I was retiring out, it was like, what is she going to do next? We already own From Olives and Grapes, and okay, that's fun. And I have a love, of course, a passion for olive oil and balsamics, but I also have a passion for my pups. So in all my travels, you go to all these other areas, and they're very dog friendly and little boutiques and things. And the village, when I first moved here 26 years ago, of course, not pet friendly. And then we did have Frida's in the village, and she passed away. And so we didn't have another little pet boutique. So, I was looking around, and I thought, I can do this, And, of course, now that was always another little challenge, but we got through that challenge. And so before I retired out in 2016, then I started looking for the right spot in the village, which the first spot was, of course, on Bovard Avenue. And then I spent...
So why Cocoa Village?
Because we live here on Merritt Island.
Right.
My other store is in Cocoa Village.
Okay.
And we had a pet boutique in the village. at one time, she didn't do the baking. She more or less did more designer clotheswear. And I wanted it to be a bakery with local designer clotheswear for the dogs and the cats and something really high end, you know. I'm not a Petco or PetSmart or Pet something else, okay? I strictly bake the little cookies and, you know, we have fun and we make birthday cakes, birthday parties and do all that. We have great things for the kitty cats and designer wear, you know, for them to wear that's all USA made, okay? And now everybody wants it to be USA made. Previously, they didn't like that, but now it's a good thing. So as I'm working through all this, then I patent all my recipes, so I own all the recipes. Oh, yeah, that's fun, too. And those are used making the olive oil from olives and grapes, so those aren't cheap cookies. And the price of eggs are pretty steep, but the olive oil's still staying the same, so there. And so we worked our way through that. I totally took the old barber shop. I have... Oh, yeah, the witch hazels. I could still walk in there and smell that. And redid it and stayed on Bavard for about 6 years. And then another opportunity opened up in the village to put me next door to From Olives and Grape, and a little nicer building, much nicer building, let's just be honest. And so it took a village to literally move me up the street, little one red wagon at a time, for about 4 months. So you're laughing, but it's the truth. Every afternoon, little red wagon up the street, another little red wagon up the street, you know. My hairdresser helped do the painting. Somebody else helped do something else. You know, Lori Perel does all my artwork. So she's up there doing the artwork. And then one day, one of the other merchants walked out and looked at me and said, "It's taking a village to move you up the street." I'm like, yeah, it is. It's a village experience. So when I opened up Tails, the city knew I was going to open up a barkery. And they asked me, well, how do we become pet friendly? And I said, give me 3 months, let me get the doors open, and then we'll talk about it. So once I got Tails opened, then everybody at first there was a few merchants in the village that kind of stood back and was like, I'm not sure I want these dogs in my store. Maybe not. And then 80% at that time were like, oh, yeah. Oh, look, they come in, they bring their dog, they bring their cats. Hey, we get cats. Every once in a while you get a horse or a pony, but okay. Oh, yeah, a goat. So they started coming in, that people started saying, oh, wait, they kind of like to bring their dog and they still buy things, you know, what a novelty. So we made, now the entire village is totally pet friendly. So we have no store or restaurant that doesn't have outside seating that you can't take the dog to. Most of them have some type of covered area that you can sit with your dog. And the majority of our bars don't serve, quote, real food. So in the summer months, you can go get your food, go sit in the bar. All I ask is if they do that, be kind and buy something to drink. You can buy a Coke for $4, okay? But you're taking up their AC and their space. And I sponsor, Tales of the Barker was founded with me sponsoring different rescue organizations, of course, here in Brevard County and actually in the state of Florida. And they all have to be non-kill shelters. And I stick with all the smaller individual rescue groups. I do sponsor the larger ones, but, you know, they get the big grants and the big funding. The smaller groups, you know, that's all volunteers, you know, that is fostering from your home. And they have large vet bills depending on the breed. And as we all know, most of them, when they come into rescue, they come with challenges, okay? So they need the money. So every month, I hold something for a different rescue group. Everything we do, there's no cost passed on to the rescue group. It all comes out of Tails' pocket or my awesome paws that help me in the volunteer world. And then we do the events, and then they get all the proceeds. So if we have to spend money to make the money, it doesn't come out of their pocket. And then every month, Tails donates a very large percentage of our sales back to one of the rescue groups, normally the one that I sponsored that month. Now, of course, there's about 20, so some months I'm sponsoring 2 groups, and if there's a catastrophic event for a group, then we'll go and I'll find a way to do something for that group. And, you know, recently our sheriff lost Junie. I made every birthday cake for that sweet pup, and so on the day of Junie's funeral, I posted that if you bought the open cookies from Tails, 100% of the sales would go back to the Junie Foundation. You know, he has that nice facility down there and now, so in Junie's name. And so the sheriff in the next week will come and see me and collect a very nice check from that day. So, yeah. So, and then the other thing we're doing next month, right? This is May. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So next month we're having a dance. Okay. So everybody get on get your shoes, put on your little dance shoes. You don't have to dance. You can have 2 right feet. You can have a left foot and a right foot. You can have 2 left feet. I don't care. You can have backwards feet. But we're all going to get together at Tango and Ties. The tickets are going to be $25 a person, $40 for a couple. Tales of the Barkery with my possum volunteers are going to do heavy hors d'oeuvres, non-alcoholic, and a little alcohol for those of you that need a libation to get off the seat. Okay, and we're all going to have fun for 3 or 4 hours, and all that money is going to go to Frank Robb and his organization, his nonprofit over here. And so we're looking forward to that. So all you people listening, come on. We need you. Okay.
We'll add
Frank is
link
going to
to
be
that.
dancing.
I was
okay?
just gonna ask.
Oh,
that.
yeah. Frank is going to do, we're going to do a little publicity with Frank dancing here in the next couple of weeks.
By
You're
all
going to
means.
see Frank dancing with Jean, who is the owner of Tango and Ties. And we're going to do a few little line dances. It's just going to be fun. So,
I
you
don't
know,
think I've ever seen Frank dance.
well, now you're going to see Frank
See,
dance.
there
Frank
you
can
go.
dance.
Have you been-
Frank can dance.
Have you been Have you been training
no,
for
by
this?
all- but yeah, called catching alligators. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, if he can catch an alligator, he can dance.
I
Okay,
can dance. I can hold my own.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
My feet move. They're not both left.
Right.
I'm all right.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
I don't think I have feet when it comes to dance. I don't think I have feet at all.
Have you
Oh,
ever tried?
Not even have I ever tried. No. What's this dancing you
Yes.
speak of?
She got married, you know. That's
Did
like
you-
the only time I ever danced.
I think that might be
Is
the
at
last
my
time I
wedding.
danced.
Yeah.
Well, it won't be that complicated, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, see, now you
Right.
guys got a reason to dance
Right.
again.
There you
It's
go.
all
And then
good.
in October, we will be hosting our 25th year of the Blessing of the Animals. So 26 years ago, when I moved to Florida, nobody blessed the animals. Now I'm from Alabama. Come on. And so had my pups in the car, of course, a different set of pups. And I went to my priest and I wanted my pups blessed. And he looked at me strangely and he goes, "Why am I doing this?" And I went, "Because it is St. Francis of Assisi Day and I want my pups blessed." So he blessed them. Okay, remember, I was just here. Got in the car, my husband looked at the pups and he says, "Oh, this will change. Just wait." So now we're into 25 years later. Several people around the community now do the blessing of the animals. I take credit for it. Okay, for all you people listening, yes, I brought it to you. Okay. And so 2 of the priests that I started with this now are deceased. Father Tobin, the first year I did it with him, very big successful event, looked at me and said, "Oh my gosh, it's Easter Sunday for the dogs, okay, and the cats and the birds and everything else," because it was, he probably blessed over 50 animals that day, okay, and that was the first one. So we've been blessed every year. St. Francis of Assisi's feast day falls on October the 4th. This year we will do it on Sunday. I'm actually putting it in the Riverfront Park. All proceeds from that event, it's a free will event, okay? So we just, we ask people just to make a kind donation, and all that money will go to Frank Robb. We're going to take that day and we're going to put a food truck out there. We're going to bring a couple of dog events for the dogs to do. We're going to have some educational things going on. Frank's going to have an opportunity to share about the wildlife. We got a lot of myths around this town about wildlife, as we all know, as we discussed before we got on the mic. And then, they'll learn about dogs and cats and holidays and things what they should and shouldn't do. And, a couple of vets may be out there. So it'll be a fun day celebrating 25 years of the blessing of the animals. And I really look forward to that. I can't believe it's been 25 years.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've watched you for years host these different events for different nonprofit organizations. Truly be a blessing to the community. You hold things together for a lot of groups. You're the glue or the tape or whatever you want to whichever way you want to look at it.
A type of adhesive.
Yes, a type of adhesive that kind of puts all these people together and keeps their name out locally and what's going on and keeps money going into them. And you're such a blessing to so many people, Pam. It's just, man, I hope you know how appreciated you really are.
You're very kind, Frank, but I have a great network, and it takes the whole community. As I said earlier, it takes the whole village, all right? So the owners of the Dirty Ore, Paul Hill, and that entire crew there have been very fortunate, very blessed. We have tag teams since before he opened that. They actually probably spent close to, I don't know, $75,000 or more on that big patio that you've been out in the back to make it totally pet friendly. He hosts all of my events. If I call and reach out to him and say, hey, we've got an emergency going on, can I host an event? Sure, whatever you need. Have other businesses in the village that do the same thing. And I can reach out. And the majority of the time, if it's willing and able, people are willing and able to do that and to support that. And, you know, I don't mind asking, because all you're going to do is tell me no. I just go next door, knock on the next door, right? But, you know, it all goes to the good cause. You know, those animals give us unconditional love. So what can you do, you know, other than help these rescue groups as much as we can, because, you know, they've taken in the dogs and the cats and the different animals into their homes, and they're really trying hard to find them a good home.
What was the kind of the journey like from retirement to, you know, you guys already had the other business going on, but to jumping into the tails business and figuring out all these, like you were saying, all these different recipes for different foods for the dogs, and trying to get everything balanced out. How big was the learning curve on that? I'm sure it's probably still going on in some aspects, but
every day you learn something new. You know, if you wake up and you learn one good thing, then you've learned something, right? So it's always a blessing when you can continue to learn. I continue to learn. I work very closely with a lot of the vets in the county, and then also with the colleges, the veterinarians. And I look and see what is on the market. I usually run it past them, and I get the thumbs up. A lot of times, most of us is thumb down. You know, I'm not the scientist. I'm not the vet. No, it's not right there. You know, I do love Auburn University, but, you know, it's not on my forehead here. And so I do reach out to them. I don't sell anything that would contradict what a vet would like you to have. They all can reach out to me, and they have, and said, hey, can you make this for the dog? I have a lot of vets that refer people to my store and say, you know, go ask her about this. And it's a journey. I mean, it really is a journey. I make everything all natural. We are certified more times than I need to be, okay? We get inspected just like everybody else does. What I like to tell people, you know, you'll get the people, just like anything, they'll come in, they'll make my own treats, I do this, I do that, and that's great. And you know, but you have to be very careful, because you can make your dog sick without ever realizing it in a heartbeat, okay? So, you know, you can't just make changes, and it's real easy to have salmonella and all these things happen, as you well know. So, you know, we try very hard not to make that happen at our store, so, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable. What's the most interesting animal you've had walk in your store?
probably the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did the goat eat treats? Did it have any treats while it was in there?
Oh, yeah, the goat. Yeah, we had to watch the goat. Yeah.
It was grabbing things off the shelf, wasn't
The
it?
goat was grabbing everything. Yeah. So the goat was, of course, I like goats, so, and like most animals. So the goat was quite the entertainment. So it was pretty much well behaved once we figured out to move some things and to watch his little nose. Okay, but you know, he was quick to grab things.
Now, when we look at your logo up there, right, you see a cat, you know, and then you see a Sheltie beside of it.
Yes, you do.
So tell me about your love for Shelties and what first drew you to Shelties.
I grew up with a collie. Okay, big dog, right? So then I didn't have a dog for a long time. And collie's a big dog, and when I bought my first home, I wanted a dog, and I wanted a Sheltie because it's smaller. It's still part of the herding group, and it looks like the collie. So my first Sheltie was named Sebastian, nicknamed Saba for firstborn, okay? And my love, got him at 6 weeks old, and then from there, he was the only Sheltie that was actually purchased and wasn't a rescue Sheltie. And then since then, all the Shelties have been rescued. Well, I take that back. Baby Raj, after I lost Sebastian, then we got Raja, Arabic for king. And he was pretty much from a puppy mill kind of situation. It's sad, but a beautiful pup. And those was the only two that I actually purchased like that. The rest of them have all been rescues. Everybody else was rescued.
Yeah, I know you've had a love for those Shelties, and I'll tell you what, that's what I think one of the many reasons me and you hit it off in the first right when I walked in with 3 Shelties. She was like, "What in the world?"
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
else with 3 Shelties. This is a friendship just built, it's just made to work out.
Well, yeah, because they're herding breed, because they're going to bark. Okay, Shelties are barkers. If you have a Sheltie that doesn't bark, I'll just look at you like, really? Your Sheltie doesn't bark? What'd you do? How'd you make that happen? Because mine bark, okay? And then like Noel, see, I've always got a story. So people look at me and go, does a deaf dog bark? And I'm like, she's a Sheltie. Of course she barks. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she loves to bark. Oh, yeah. 2 o'clock this morning, she wanted me to know she was up and ready to eat. And I'm like, I'm not feeding you at 2. So, yeah,
I
go
know
back to bed.
Mine, it's butterflies, leaves going in the road,
Oh,
lizards in the fence, birds that dare to fly overhead.
oh yeah.
Oh, if there's a vulture in the sky somewhere, they're watching it, they're barking at it. A plane
Wow.
goes over, they're watching it, barking at it. They don't miss anything.
No.
They do not miss a single thing.
No, Shelties are very intelligent, and they like to herd, and they know what herding is. And so, because I live on the golf course, Noelle knows her job. She doesn't like it when there's no golfers out there. She will come in the house. Sounds like she's tearing down the doggy door and look at you like, "Mom," and I'm like, "Yes." "Well, where is everybody?" I'm like, "It's 104 degrees outside. They're not playing golf today." She doesn't understand that, right? So
Are yours always keeping their eyes on you? Like always watching you?
always,
Yeah.
always, yeah. And that's the interesting thing with Noelle, because I trained her to watch me and to check in with me. So she will go out, but then she comes right back in, and she has to find me.
Oh.
And she checks in, and she'll check in with me, and then she goes right back out. Yeah, yeah. So it's just what they do. And if you separate, have you watched this at your home? So if you have company and everybody goes to a different room, and you just let them stay in the room and you let the dogs do the work, I give it 20 minutes, and you're all going to be in the same room, because the dogs have worked you without you realizing it. They herd you up, and they get you all in the same room. And they won't give it up till they move you to where they want you to be. Yeah. And without you realizing it, they will do this because they're a herding breed.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
True story. Pam, thank you so much for coming here today and chatting with us and telling us a little bit about your story and your business and all the incredible things you do. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Frank. I look forward to getting you on the dance floor here in the next couple of weeks. And then everybody keep watching, because Frank Robb's going to be on the dance floor real soon.
No doubt about it. It is going to happen. I don't know if that's terrifying for everybody else or not. I will not trip my own beard, I will tell you that much.
Okay. Well,
There were
that's a
times
good
where people
thing.
might have been worried about that, but right now
Right.
I think I'm okay.
No, you're okay.
Just recently trimmed it a little bit. We're all right.
Plenty of ground cleared.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Lord. Guys, another one in the book.
Yes, sir.
The-
Yes, sir.
The book of podcasts.
Yes,
Indeed.
indeed.
All right, y'all. If you want to learn more about EEARSS, you can go over to EEARSS.org or .com, or Alligator Robb. Robb has 2 B's, is my last name, .com, alligatorrobb.com. Alligator has 2 L's. This is a very confusing situation going on right here, so make sure you can spell, and everything will work out pretty good for you. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you all next week. Bye-bye.